Hello, how you guys doing? James here. I'm going to show you this latest thing about the Japanese, and it's going to be some. I'm going to get two point of views about. Start with the good, but I also got something for you to think about. But I'm going to show you these content creators, and it won't be long, but it did about 3 or 4 videos. But here's the first video on it.
Japanese government requesting black men to impregnate their females. So pretty much the population is declining in Japan, and they want black men to go there and, mix in with the females of their race. And I believe that this is happening not only in Japan but in Europe as well. A lot of places in Europe, the same thing. And it's going to happen even more. And more people, they're going to be forced to mix into the black race. And that's a good thing, because that's going to stop a lot of this racism stuff. Once they see, these non-black groups, like really mixing in with black people, that's going to, convince a lot of these other groups who are racist to do the same thing, because they see other people doing it. People lead by example.
So, I don't know if you guys know what's going on right now. The Japanese government is requesting that black men, specifically black men, should move to Japan and impregnate their women. Yep, and we got women out here talking about black men ain't shit. Even other countries know we put in the work. They know how we do it. Yeah. And you running your mouth about black men? Nah, black men are the shit. Black men are the shit. Do not ever let a woman tell you, no, not this and that. No, you the shit, my boy. You are the shit. Let me tell you this. If the Japanese government and the Korean government comes up with a deal that any black man that goes there is guaranteed a job, you haven't seen women cry. You have not seen women cry yet. Times are coming. I'm telling you, times are coming. Oh my goodness, it's over for y'all.
Oh man, a nigga's prayers have been answered. It's like the Most High is calling upon us and giving us this holy mission that we need to fulfill. Japan, the land of the rising sun, needs black men. They need black men to plant our seeds, to spread their garden, because they have no plants out there to photosynthesize in the land of the rising sun. Damn. Well, it looks like I gotta go to Japan and save a country. Goddamn.
If you are black, please come to Japan. I don't care if it's for a day, a week. You gotta know what it's like to be here while being black. I love it. I love it so much, honestly. I think my experience made me want to learn Japanese. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna keep it a book. I don't have a reason to lie. I'm not getting paid to say this. When I got to Japan, I didn't want to learn the language. Why? Because I had Google Translate. But because, how can I explain what it's like being black in Japan? Being black in Japan is easy. It is so easy being here while being black. And I feel like if you're black, even hearing this, I know you want to come to Japan and see what I'm talking about. Listen, let me sell it to you. You can walk down the street, right? You don't get that one stare, and you know what I'm talking about from a distance. You go inside of a store, you're not being watched as if you're a criminal. I make friends easily in Japan. There's Americans here in Japan. I really only have Japanese friends. The only thing you might deal with while being black in Japan is random people coming to ask you for a picture, and everything you do will seem cool. Only thing. But yeah, I don't want y'all to take my word for it. Y'all need to come and find out for yourself.
Need more black people in Tokyo, man. We gotta fix this, bro. Hey, food ain't right. Food ain't right, man. But I guess that's why they fit. I probably ate 2 times since I've been out here. I probably lost hella weight. Y'all can see my face slimming up already, bro. Ain't no weed legal out here, so I can't get the munchies to eat. And there ain't no good food, so I know what the gravy is, right? It ain't the gravy. What the fuck is this? Now we got this thing called pokey. Strawberry pokey. This is good as hell. Hey, Kyle look like he live here. What is that? Kyle look like something like that. You look like he live here. What like what I get off? Like you look like you'd be across the street walking right now. Really?
Just like solo white guy just lives in Japan.
You got a little Japanese wife and shit. Right. Yeah. You don't have Japanese white kids. What is you asking me if this chocolate and you see a goddamn strawberry on here, bro? Bro, listen.
So what does it look like a man courting a woman in Japan? Yeah, I mean, they go out, they talk, they just, the affection isn't necessarily physical. It's just not. They just don't touch very much. Which, as a Westerner, is mad confusing if you're trying to do it, right? Because you're like,
I'm like, she's not into it, man. She's not into it.
Exactly, right? Like, you try to touch him, and they're like, ooh, right? And it's like, all right, well, that's obviously I've been shot down there. She must not be interested. And then the mom be like, well, are we going to see each other again? And I'm like, but you were a So it made dating really confusing.
Too many blacks in Japan lately. Oh my god. Yeah, ちょっと待とうぜ. ちょっと待った. First of all, you're racist. You're just racist. Like, let's just get that out of the way. You're racist. And the fact that you commented this, right? You knew you was gonna get clapped back. Like, I don't know how you got on TikTok and was like, hold up, let me be racist today. まずファーストステップ、俺日本人ね。そっから始めよう。ね。I got a passport. I got a Japanese passport. I've been living here my whole entire life, born and raised out here, 22 years. 22. やっぱり単純に言ってそういうことを言う人間はもう無理っす。今回はコメント返してあげたけど、もう無理っすね。無理は。
When I lived in Japan, there was this guy who genuinely was obsessed with me. He had dreads, and he was a Japanese dude who had dreads, which is strikingly common in Japan. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially where I was at, like Osaka. It was strikingly common. And he was like, "Oh, Chris Rock," and I'm like, "I'm not Chris Rock. I'm not Chris Rock." He's like, "Oh, Chris Rock, my friend." And I was like, I'm not Chris Rock. And he was genuinely always around me all the time. One day we went out to karaoke. We went to a little karaoke bar. We had some girls with us, and these girls spoke very little English, and I didn't speak enough Japanese to get by any at all. I just genuinely was in Japan because I was stuck there. I don't want to talk about why I was stuck there. Anyways, I was just having a good time singing karaoke songs, at least the ones that I knew. And this guy, he puts on, oh my god, I forgot what it was. They had the nigga song. It was just nigga, 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 nigga. And I was like, oh my goodness. Oh brother. Oh, gee willikers. Oh wow. And he just starts singing that song, and he's like, "You like song?" I'm like, firstly, if it would be different if there was like more black people around, but I'm the only one. So I'm like, man, that was amazing. I couldn't do anything. And I had realized at that moment that I never want to not be around people that are of my same skin tone. At that moment, I was like, I need to be around more black people when I go out because I need like a backup. I need a wingman. I need a racial wingman because I didn't have one. I just didn't, and that kind of sucked. Anyways, we sang karaoke, and I ended up getting some Sloppenheimer that night, so that was pretty fun.
She just left her boyfriend to give me directions. Rapunji. Yoko Ekuno. Rapunji? Over here? Aja. How are you doing in Rapunji? Party. Yeah. Me, you, party. Shindesu. Oh yeah. 22. Yeah. Fucking smooth. Why is she still giving me directions though? She left that guy. That's crazy. He's calling right now. ATM. Damn, she really taking control. I literally seen her with another dude. I said, yo, you know where this is? She left him and came with me 30 minutes later. Oh, okay. I want some fruits. Fruits. Pineapple. Yeah. Pineapple.
If you are black, please come to Japan.
Yes, but with some reservations. I loved living in Japan to some extent. Like in Osaka, which I spent 1 month, amazing time, loved it. Tokyo, not so much. Depends on the people you're around, but the experience of being in Japan is definitely unique. accustomed to living in the Western world, you don't have traditional racism like that. It's unique in the sense where you're the other. You're just a contrast, especially in terms of phenotype, skin color. People will look at you, and you'll get over that. And the culture is amazing. People are amenable. People are pretty friendly, but sometimes they are racist. And they're racist in a subtle way, right? You know, like you're in a food aisle and maybe somebody darts out. Or, you know, I was personally attacked by some random Japanese guy in Roppongi. And these things you need to be aware about. But still, go. It's fun.
Black men, Japan needs you. Japan is calling specifically for black men. I know you are saying why, Tasha. They say they need babies, and black men tend to make a lot of them.
Guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren and I'm Maureen. Yeah, so in today's episode we found a very interesting video, and you guys, Japan wants you to go and help them repopulate their population. Yeah, and the biggest question we are asking today is Japan ready for a biracial society? You know, are they ready for how it will impact their cultural and social economic world? Let's watch this video and then we come back and talk about it.
Japan is calling specifically for black men. I know you are saying why, Tasha. They say they need babies, and black men tend to make a lot of them. After South Korea proposed last week $75,000 per baby that a family has, Japan is in desperate need, okay? And they are calling all black men, specifically immigrants, to come and impregnate their women so that they can save their dying population. I don't understand, because, you know, black men were once and still is on the inner side of the line, which means their lives, I mean, what are you going to guarantee us if we send our men over there to help save you? Could you imagine? Think about this. After everything they put us through, everything, y'all trying to take these men out. Now you need them to repopulate the earth? The United States is responsible for what's going on over there in Japan. Why should we be held responsible? And get this, they ain't even paying no money to do it. They're just saying, please, black men, immigrants, please come have babies with our women. Here's the thing, we're gonna need to run some tests, because it could be from what happened years ago as to why their population is down. You know what I'm saying? That stuff's still in the soil. It's still in the air. You already know what I'm talking about. What's that white man name that thought it was a genius idea to create the biggest bullet in the world? Oppenheimer. Yeah, that's his name. So why is it that, you know, y'all called him this, y'all called him that, you enslaved and you did this, and now you ain't calling for white men. You ain't calling for, you calling for to come save your community.
So guys, that being said, and Japan having clearly stated that it is in dire need of a population increase and they want black men to go and help increase their population, what do Japanese really truly think of black people? Let's watch and then we come back and talk about it.
In Japan, we think they're scary, but they're fancy. From my perspective, but I don't know what other people think. But I think they're fancy, but I kind of a little bit scary.
黒人男性と交際ってできます。こちら。
Now that I've been living in Japan for a while now and kind of been in the dating scene, I think these videos should stop. I get that, like, before when I was in America watching them, I'd be like, see, Japanese people will date us, you know, they will like us. And then, like, when they say they wouldn't, I would genuinely get mad and be like, but why not? And after living here, I realized that, like, even though we see these videos online of, like, some Japanese people saying they would, when you get here, you're most likely not gonna find them. And even if they get on those videos and say they would, most likely they're like, when they come face to face with you, they're not gonna do it. Just already assume that they're not gonna date you. Just already believe that they're not gonna date you. And if they do, they're probably not gonna take you seriously unless you're palm colored. And that's just the really real of it.
I'm gonna tell you a dirty little secret about Japan.
Now it's common here for a tall, below average or
average white Caucasian male to come and be fawned over like a king. He's so handsome, kakoi. I love in Tokyo, but around my place, there are no black people. And then, actually, when I went to Tanzania for the first time when I was in university, I was so scared. There are no Asians, and even I didn't see any like white people there. There are only black people, and I was like, oh, "This is so scary." I don't know. I just felt so scary. And then people at the airport had a gun, and I never seen a gun in my life. So I was like, oh, "This is so scary." But after that volunteering, I realized, oh, they're actually really kind. I know it's so nice to talk with them. But after that, I realized studying abroad in Taiwan, I made a lot of friends, black people friends there, like from Canada or from America. Also studying abroad in Taiwan, and actually I've dated with a black person for 3 months.
What stereotypes do you think exist amongst black people in Japan? Can I go first? People think that I'm gonna like actually hurt them. I'm not even kidding. And somebody's not expecting me, and they'll just be like, oh!
Yeah, like within a meter of
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, too close to
in Japan.
Yeah, Japan, man. People gonna say, Bikurishita.
You really have to kind of like shrink yourself. So you can't really be yourself. But that's no way to live, man. That's no way to live. You know how like it takes more energy trying to please others, you know, in a way. For the black people that want to move to Japan, hey, do it.
Like, if it's anything, man, if anything can lie, it's always good to experience it. Even if the outcome of it is a bad one, there's no sense to take away from it.
But you gotta let them know. Make sure you do your research first, because if you come here and you don't like it,
it's on you, man.
It's on you, man.
If you're a loser back home, you can come here and find someone who actually thinks you're cool.
I literally had a guy in the club come up to me and he was like, "Are your black?"
Oh, I actually used Tinder like 2 years.
You found a new hobby. So your personal info has found itself on...
Attention, all black men. Japan needs your help. Yes, I mean you. Japan just announced that they need black men's help to create more offspring, since black men are so blessed with that. And one can only wonder what the response will be from the black sisters, because most of us have an idea of how most men would react to such an invitation. It's a clear count me in. At least, that's what one brother had to say in one of the stages we have prepared for you. But the most interesting part of his insight are the questions he has for the sisters. Care to join me and find out? Stick around in today's video as Japan calls for black men's help. What do you think the response will be? And if it were up to you, would you participate in keeping Japan's population alive and kicking? I know this is not the most controversial question you've ever heard before. So leave your thoughts in the comment section and tell us, how many little bundles of joy are you gonna be having with your next Japanese wife? Is it 2? Is it 10?
Black men, Japan needs you. Japan is calling specifically for black men. I know you are saying why, Tasha. They say they need babies, and black men tend to make a lot of them. After South Korea proposed last week $75,000 per baby that a family has, Japan is in desperate need, okay? And they are calling all black men, specifically immigrants, to come and impregnate their women so that they can save their population. I don't understand, because, you know, black men were once and still is on the inner side of the line, which means their lives, I mean, what are you going to guarantee us if we send our men over there to help save you? Could you imagine? Think about this. After everything they put us through, everything, y'all trying to take these men out. Now you need them to repopulate the earth? The United States is responsible for what's going on over there in Japan. Why should we be held responsible? And get this, they ain't even paying no money to do it. They're just saying, please, black men, immigrants, please come have babies with our women. Here's the thing, we're gonna need to run some tests, because it could be from what happened years ago as to why their population is down. You know what I'm saying? That stuff's still in the soil. It's still in the air. You already know what I'm talking about. What's that white man name that thought it was a genius idea to create the biggest bullet in the world? Oppenheimer. Yeah, that's his name. So why is it that, you know, y'all called him this, y'all called him that, you inflated and you did this, and now you ain't calling for white men. You ain't calling back. You calling for to come save your community. And I'm gonna go negotiation firm over there in Asia and stuff, and I'm going to have black men come breed with them, but they're going to get benefits. They're going to get lifetime protection from any type of child support if they decide to leave and don't want to stay in these here countries. They're going to be set for life, which means anything that these kids bring, it is going to come back directly to the black family, which means if I send Sheck over there to breed, right? Let's just say hypothetically I sent him over there on a contract breeding, anything that these kids inherit is going to come back to us. Same way they do it with these, you know, we used to be slaves on this land out here, and anything that we work, you know what I'm saying, they own and went back to their family. We going to start sending it back to Africa, back to the black families. That's the type of contract I need if you need the earth. Because this one ain't dying. We going to get our kickbacks out of here. Moving on.
Now hold up, Tasha. Wait a minute. Okay. So for the 97% of the black women in America who say we ain't and don't want us, God damn it, Tasha, you might be in that 3%. Well, what about these other women who are really... Okay, we're gonna go back a couple of years and go through the eras of men ain't no good men out here. So for the fact that Japan had one come over with if they women, who will be mad? I figure, like some women may say, let them go. And it may not even be the point of why, but it's the point of who matters and who cares. Like if single black women here in America really feel like they want a good man, a black man, to be with, then I think it's about time y'all start being real with yourselves and start stating the facts. That yeah, they do got good black men out here and you want one. Stop doing for the internet to have likes talking about, yeah, nigga, shit. And I can't find a good man. Well, goddamn it, y'all see me at work every day. This mostly where I post at because at times when, you know, I've done my job and now I get to relax, I'm gonna grab my phone. I'll be a little bored sometimes, even though my phone be dry.
1972, New York City. Post-Woodstock, pre-Studio 54. For the...
I'm gonna grab my phone. I'll be a little bored sometimes, even though my phone be dry. They ain't got not one black woman hitting me up. But yet, if Japan gonna teach me jujitsu and taekwondo and tai chi and all this other madness, and you know how to get to Kanishiwa with them, and you know that's all I really know. I mean, hello, that's what they say. Hello. You know, they won't teach me. I wouldn't be really mad. Yeah, and I don't think the black women who don't want black man wouldn't be mad either, since we ain't good for nothing, you know. But yeah, Tasha, you might kill. I don't think a lot of them kill. You know, if you're paying it, you like. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind seeing another country. Make me a couple of babies. At least I know I got some babies in Japan. You know. You know, I'm just saying. Nick Cannon! They need you, bro!
I know that guy just said that Nick Cannon, they're looking for you, and a lot of people must have busted out laughing. But I know a lot of brothers out there that would be very, very happy to have more than one wife, but they're not able to do so because of some financial issues. You have to join me on analyzing the reasons as to why that is. So historically, polygamy has been intertwined with cultural and religious beliefs, often serving as a symbol of wealth, status, and power. In many traditional African societies, polygamy was commonplace and widely accepted. It provided economic stability and ensured the continuation of lineage, and I guess that's what Japan is trying to do. And this was happening through the bearing of multiple offspring. Black men in particular, those in positions of authority or wealth, were often encouraged or expected to take multiple wives as a sign of prosperity and vitality. And so black men, you've heard that. You are encouraged here by Japan to reawaken this ancient practice. Scientifically, evolutionary psychology offers insights into the potential drivers of polygamous behavior among black men. So Japan has been studying the theory of parental investment suggests that males, driven by evolutionary instincts, may seek multiple mates to maximize their reproductive success. In environments where resources are scarce or mortality rates are high, having multiple partners increases the likelihood of passing on one's genes. So why doesn't Japanese just do this ancient practice themselves instead of trying to involve black men? I mean, just think about it. If this ancient practice worked back then, it should be able to work now, helping the economy thrive by multiplying the population, at the same time preserving their genes. So would there be something here that happened in that great incident that this sister mentioned that perhaps is manifesting in their genes right now that they are not exposing to the media? Or maybe Japan also predicted, as they predicted in Korea, that in the next 300 to 500 years, most of their populations are not going to be present. So they need black immigrants to start occupying those spaces. This evolutionary predisposition towards polygamy may persist in contemporary society, albeit in a more subdued manner due to cultural shifts and legal restrictions. So is Japan not participating in polygamy because of legal restrictions? Because if their population is in jeopardy, then they should be able to do that, right? But why are they calling on black men's help? Because we are seeing here, they're saying that through polygamy, they can be...
What happened to the Caucasian guys? Because y'all were marrying the hell out of them, and all that. But you gotta read between the lines. See, the wording is they want black men over there to make babies, not technically to marry. They want us to just spread seeds, do a lot of serious fuck, basically, and do that because apparently they heard in the great West that we're in that we just make babies and don't take care of them, apparently. But yeah, which is a bullshit lie. But essentially, that's what they want for us. So the wording is they want us to procreate. Here's the crazy thing, right? I also read another article about Caucasian men, right? And Caucasian men basically saying that black women, grown women belong to rich white men or something like that, right? Y'all don't see all this as a setup somehow? Y'all don't see that, huh? How they're glazing the hell out of us to come and procreate and all of that. But not one article, not one, stresses black men being with black women. Not one article is really pushing that agenda. It's always rich white men or well-off white men with black women, or black men going over to spread the seed. Not marry, not be an object of marriage or father, but to spread seed, right? Now I know I see the balance, guys. I get it. I understand that melanin is expensive. It's worth a lot on the black market. But
it is high time a black man gotta know how to.
But here's the crazy thing. Y'all don't see that as a setup? How they're, again, separating us like they always do. I just laugh at it. Because this always happens. Now, I've joked and said, oh yeah, man, I go to Japan and all that stuff, but I'm still naturally attracted to, melanated women. Am I attracted to Asian women? Yeah, but I would rather somebody that looks like, me. But this is just funny. Nah, that's a setup. That's a setup. Read between the lines, people. Now, I know y'all have seen that post going around about Japan's aging population. They have one of the oldest populations because
the Japanese government is requesting black men to go and date and marry their women. It might sound like an opportunity, but I always look at things in a different way as compared to most of people. And I know that a lot of black men
are really happy about this. Some black men are really happy about this. But ask yourself, why out of every other person, why is you a black person, you are requested to go and have kids with Japanese women? Ask yourself why. You know, when the deal is good, you might think twice. You know, critically look at it deeply. What do you think about this? Why is it that now we black men, we are on demand, we are needed in Japan to go and have kids with them? There's a question you need to ask yourself, like critically ask yourself, why is this happening today? I want you to watch this video and then come back. I'll tell you the reason as to why you need to critically look into this. Please watch the video and then listen to what I'll say about it. It's important if we try to look at things in a different way, okay? Because I believe that most men are really, really happy about this, black men especially, are really happy about this, but I don't know why, but they are happy. That's what I know. So let's watch the video and then get to hear what I have to say. Maybe you can consider it before, you know, just jumping because you feel like it's an opportunity and the government could give you anything just to have those women. So let's watch the video, then come back, say something.
Japan needs you. Japan is calling specifically for black men. I know you are saying why, Tasha. They say they need babies, and black men tend to make a lot of them. After South Korea proposed last week $75,000 per baby that a family has, Japan is in desperate need, okay? And they are calling all black men, specifically immigrants, to come and impregnate their women so that they can save their dying population. I don't understand because, you know, black men were once and still is on the inner side of the line, which means their lives, I mean, what are you going to guarantee us if we send our men over there to help save you? Could you imagine? Think about this. After everything they put us through, everything, y'all trying to take these men out. Now you need them to repopulate the earth? The United States is responsible for what's going on over there in Japan. Why should we be held responsible? And get this, they ain't even paying no money to do it. They're just saying, please, black men, immigrants, please come have babies with our women. Here's the thing, we're gonna need to run some tests because it could be from what happened years ago as to why their population is down. You know what I'm saying? That stuff's still in the soil. It's still in the air. You already know what I'm talking about. What's that white man name that thought it was a genius idea to create the biggest bullet in the world? Oppenheimer. Yeah, that's his name. So why is it that, you know, y'all called him this, y'all called him that, you inflated and you did this, and now you ain't calling for white men. You ain't calling back. You calling to come save your community. And I'm going to go over there and I'm going to start me a negotiation firm over there in Asia and stuff. And I'm going to have black men come breed with them, but they're going to get benefits. They're going to get lifetime protection from any type of child support if they decide to leave and don't want to stay in these here countries. They're going to be set for life, which means anything that these kids bring, it is going to come back directly to the black family, which means if I send Sheck over there to breed, right? Let's just say hypothetically I sent him over there on a contract breeding. Anything that these kids inherit is gonna come back to us. Same way they do it with these, you know, we used to be slaves on this land out here, and anything that we work, you know what I'm saying? They own and went back to their family. We gonna start sending it back to Africa, back to the black families. That's the type of contract I need if you need this sperm, because this one ain't dying. We gonna get our kickbacks out of here. Moving on.
Oh man, a nigga's prayers have been answered. It's like the Most High is calling upon us and giving us this holy mission that we need to fulfill. Japan, the land of the rising sun, needs black men. They need black men to plant our seeds, to spread their garden, because they have no plants out there to photosynthesize in the land of the rising sun. Damn. Well, it looks like I gotta go to Japan and save a country. Goddamn.
Black, please come to Japan. I don't care if it's for a day, a week. You gotta know what it's like to be here while being black. I love it so much, honestly. I think my experience made me want to learn Japanese. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it a book. I don't have a reason to lie. I'm not getting paid to say this. When I got to Japan, I didn't want to learn the language. Why? Because I had Google Translate. But because, how can I explain what it's like being black in Japan? Being black in Japan is easy. It is so easy being here while being black. And I feel like if you're black, even hearing this, I know you want to come to Japan and see what I'm talking about. Listen, let me sell it to you. You can walk down the street, right? You don't get that one stare, and you know what I'm talking about from a distance. You go inside of a store, you're not being watched as if you're a criminal. I make friends easily in Japan. There's Americans here in Japan. I really only have Japanese friends. The only thing you might deal with while being black in Japan is random people coming to ask you for a picture, and everything you do will seem cool. Only thing. But yeah, I don't want y'all to take my word for it. Y'all need to come in.
Japanese are going extinct, and there's only one thing you can do to help us, and it is go out there and start producing with Japanese. Because we are going extinct, Japanese are getting rarer. I know this is not the best side that you're looking at, but it might be your last time that you're looking at real Japanese girl on TikTok. So yeah, come to Japan and help us, please.
So, I don't know if you guys know what's going on right now. The Japanese government is requesting that black men, specifically black men, should move to Japan and impregnate their women. Yep, and we got women out here talking about black men ain't shit. Even other countries know we put in the work. They know how we do it. Yeah. And you running your mouth about black men? Nah, black men are the shit. Black men are the shit. Do not ever let a woman tell you, no, not this and that. No, you the shit, my boy. You are the shit. Let me tell you this. If the Japanese government and the Korean government comes up with a deal that any black man that goes there is guaranteed a job, you haven't seen women cry. You have not seen women cry yet. Times are coming. I'm telling you, times are coming. Oh my goodness. It's over for y'all.
Oh, man. Black people in Tokyo, man, we gotta fix this, bro. Hey, food ain't right. Food ain't right, man. But I guess that's why they fit. I probably ate 2 times since I've been out here. I probably lost hella weight. Y'all can see my face slimming up already, bro. Ain't no weed legal out here, so I can't get the munchies to eat. And there ain't no good food, so I know the grapiest, right? It ain't the grapiest. Why the fuck this ain't grapiest, nigga? Now we got this thing called Pokey. Strawberry pokey. This is good as hell. Hey, that would look like he live here. He's got a dollar bill or something like that. He look like he live here. Live here? So like, when I get off, you look like you'd be across the street walking right now. Really? Just like a solo white guy just lives in Japan. You got a little Japanese wife and shit. Right. Yeah. So have Japanese white kids. What the fuck is you asking me if this chocolate? You see a goddamn strawberry on here, bro. Bro, listen.
So what does it look like a man courting a woman in Japan?
Yeah, I mean, they go out, they talk, they just, the affection isn't necessarily physical. It's just not. They just don't touch very much. Which, as a Westerner, is mad confusing if you're trying to date, right? Because you're like,
I'm like, she's not into it, man. She's not into it.
Exactly, right? Like, you try to touch him, and they're like, ooh, right? And it's like, all right, well, that's obviously I've been shot down there. She must not be interested. And then I'll be like, well, are we going to see each other again? And I'm like, but you were a person. So it made dating really confusing.
Too many blacks in Japan lately.
Oh my God. Have you ever wanted to make money playing video games? Well, now you can with TesterUp. TesterUp.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. So a number of you shared with me some commentary or some information that caused me to kind of go searching to see if there was any validity to the information at all. So it leaves a question: is Japan really paying black men $75,000 to immigrate to Japan and have babies with their women? Is it happening or not? Now, I haven't been able to find any evidence that this is taking place. What I did find on Japan is still quite disturbing, but it's similar to some reports that we've seen all around the world, all around the planet, in the wake of a particular event where the whole planet was shut down. But this story right here, it seems to have taken wings and taken flight in terms of this offering. I haven't seen anything other than a clip that is just circulating. Various people are using this clip, but I haven't found any information to validate it. Now, I'm not saying that it is completely not possible, but I haven't found anything. And you know, at the age of the internet, a lot of information is easily searchable and verifiable, but I haven't found anything to verify that Japan is paying black men $75,000 to immigrate and have babies with their women. I haven't seen it. Now, if you're talking about a few clips where on TikTok and other social media where they're just interviewing random women in Japan and asking them their opinions on black men, those don't count. I mean, I've seen those. I've seen those videos where some are saying black men are macho, some are saying black men are scary, some are saying they're sexy. They're saying a number of different things about black men, but these are just random people, random interviews, and it has nothing to do with some type of government offering specifically black men $75,000 to immigrate to Japan to have babies with their women. I do not see any evidence of that whatsoever, other than a single clip that is being shared across many platforms. Again, I will go on record as saying that I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I haven't seen it. What I found concerning Japan is the fact that they are having some serious issues, just like China, just like Europe, and many other what they call quote-unquote world powers in the world. They are having some population issues. They are having some excessive DEATHS issues. That's what they're having, right? So I guess this story would kind of help them in that regard if you were to have a bunch of black men doing that, but you know, that would be completely against Torah to do this. Okay? I'm going to show you what's going on in Japan. And I see evidence of these same things going on in China and other regions of the world, but what they've decided to do, which is quite different than what I'm seeing here with this story, you have a lot of Chinese men going over into Africa, getting with indigenous women there. I haven't seen any situations, not saying that it is impossible, but I haven't seen any situations where you have nations who are calling for black men to bring their seed. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen it. So anyway, let's take a look at what's actually going on in Japan, the issues that these people are having. Again, very similar issues to what is happening in China. So take a look at this right here. Now they are saying that Japan's population crisis was years in the making. And they say that relief may be decades away. Relief may be decades away. So they're having a population crisis over there. Now it was brought out, we all know that there was a major event that happened in Japan. And that major event could have very well had something to do with the lack of babies being born, because they're talking about the population of people, is increasing. People in their 70s is increasing, right? So let's look at what it says. It says each spring. As reliably as the changing of the seasons, Japan releases grim new population data that prompts hand wringing in the press and vows by politicians to address the country's demographic crisis. It's now or never to tackle declining births and the shrinking population. The country's leader warned last year, nearly 8 years after his predecessor had pledged to confront the demographic problem head on. So they are having declining births in Japan. I wonder why that is. Do you all remember what happened in Japan with all of that nuclear waste? It says, this year is no exception. The number of new births fell for an 8th consecutive year in 2023, reaching a record low and representing 5.5% decline from the previous year, according to preliminary data released this week by the government. The demographic crisis has become one of Japan's most pressing issues, with multiple governments failing to reverse the double blow of a falling fertility rate and swelling elderly population. More people are dying than are being born each year, causing the population to fall rapidly, with far-reaching consequences for Japan's workforce, economy, welfare systems, and social fabric. It says Japan is far from the only country with this problem. Its East Asian neighbors, including China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and South Korea, face similar issues, as do several European nations such as Spain and Italy. A day after Japan released its preliminary data this week, South Korea released its own figures, showing its fertility rate, the world's lowest, dropped yet again in 2023. Unlike many developed countries with low fertility rates, such as the United States, Japan and other East Asian nations have shied away from using immigration to bolster their population. But Japan's crisis is unique in that it's been decades in the making, experts say, meaning its impact is particularly evident now, with relief unlikely to come anytime soon. So whatever path Japan takes will likely offer a roadmap for other countries facing uncharted territory and a glimpse into their potential future. They're saying it's not reversible. It says the first thing to understand about Japan's population crisis is that it's only partly behavioral, said James Ramo, professor of sociology and demography at Princeton University. A much larger part of the problem has to do with Japan's history and how that has shaped its population structure, he said. For a population to remain stable, it needs a fertility rate of 2.1, defined as the total number of births a woman has in her lifetime. A higher rate will see a population expand, with a large proportion of children and youth, as seen in India and many African nations. But in Japan, that measure of fertility has been below 2.1 for 50 years, Ramo said. It fell below that level after 1973 global oil crisis pushed economies into recession and never climbed back up. As of this year, Japan's fertility rate set at 1.3. It has stayed relatively flat for a while, meaning the average Japanese woman today is having roughly the same number of children as 5 or 10 years ago. The real problem is that the fertility rate has been consistently low for so long. A country can recover if the rate only clips for a few years. But when it stays under 2.1 for decades, you get a population with much, much fewer young people than older people. Because of the skewed ratio, the total number of babies being born each year will continue to fall, even if women start having more kids, because the pool of women of childbearing age is already so small and shrinking each year. It has to continue. It cannot not continue, Ramos said. Even if all of a sudden Japanese married couples started having 3 children, on average the population would continue to decline. The number of births would, for a while, still continue to decline. It's not reversible. Woo! That sounds very dire for Japan, doesn't it? It's a tripped out thing, and I want to say something about that in just a moment when I'm done with this report. It says, that means even if Japan manages to boost its fertility rate dramatically and immediately, which experts say is unrealistic, its population is bound to keep decreasing for at least several more decades until the skewed ratio balances out and the babies being born now reaching childbearing age themselves. Official projections echo this prediction. According to models by the governors or the government's Institute of Population and Social Security Research, which were more recently revised last year, the population will fall 30% by 2070. At that point, the number of people aged 65 and over will account for 40% of the population it forecast. What we're seeing now is zero surprise, and it will structurally continue for the foreseeable future, Ramos said. So they're saying drifted into singlehood. There are many reasons for Japan's low fertility rate, but the main problem is that people aren't getting married in the first place. Single parents or children born to unmarried mothers are far less common in Japan than in Western countries. Thus, fewer marriages mean fewer babies overall. The number of marriages in Japan declined nearly 6% in 2023 from the previous year, dipping below 500,000 for the first time in 90 years. According to preliminary data released this week, divorces they've also rose 2.6% last year. Experts have pointed to Japan's high cost of living, stagnant economy and wages, limited space, and the country's demanding work culture as reasons fewer people are opting to date or marry. Japanese people's willingness to form a family has declined considerably, according to a 2022 survey by the IPSS. Among single adults who have never wed, fewer say they intend to get married compared to previous years, while more say they wouldn't be lonely even if they continued living alone. About 1/3 said they did not want a relationship. So I want to stop right there for a moment. I want to stop right there for a moment because there's a narrative that they're trying to pay black men to come and have babies with their women, and it just doesn't match up with what is being talked about as the real crisis. First of all, they said it's less likely that a Japanese woman is going to even have a child out of wedlock. In other words, they said single motherhood is less likely in Japan than it is in Western nations, meaning they don't play that. They want, if they're going to have a baby, they want a husband and a wife. That's what it sounds like to me. What does it sound like to you? So the narrative that they're paying black men to come and just impregnate their women, that doesn't add up. It doesn't sound right at all. It doesn't even sound right because it's like the women aren't even doing it. They're even saying, look, we're not even looking for relationships. It said about 1/3 said they do not even want a relationship. So what is going on with that? Where is this information coming from? Like I said, even if you do have a few people TikToking and saying these things on video, that does not account for the whole country. It does not account for the government giving payouts of $75,000 just for your seed. It doesn't make sense because they are not known for single motherhood or single parenthood, or many are not even seeking a relationship. So the math ain't mathing. They are having a serious population issue. they are having declining birth rates for a number of different reasons. Infertility is one of those reasons. Fewer babies are being born. Something happened in these regions that has caused this, right? But someone decided to spin a story all the way around and say that they're handing out $75,000 to black men to come impregnate their women. I don't know. I would need some solid proof for that, because I haven't found not one thing to corroborate that. I'm actually saying something that is completely different. Notice it said Japanese people's willingness to form a family has declined considerably. It says among single adults who have never wed, fewer say they intend to get married compared to previous years. Many of them aren't even looking for marriage, much less trying to bring babies into the world by some stray black man that comes from another country just to drop his seed and go. Because notice they ain't said nothing about marriage. These people don't even want to get married from what it's saying here. It says many of these issues are also plaguing other East Asian nations with their own population woes. Marriage rates have plummeted in China, where women are more educated and financially independent than ever. In South Korea, only 1/3 of young people feel positively about marriage, according to polls, with many saying they don't have enough money for marriage or feels it's simply not necessary. Most East Asian nations have also declined to legalize gay marriage, parenting and adopting rights making it harder for LGBTQ citizens to become parents. So they won't even, they won't even legalize that. Bravo to you for your sovereignty. It amazes me how Western nations, they go after Africa and try to demonize them and sanction them for not wanting to agree with that type of lifestyle, but you don't see them going after these nations. Back to the article, it says, the impact of the population crisis is...
That's a long article, but I want to stop right here and give you my little input on it. Number one, Japan, I thought about the nuclear situation over there, and that stuff is still in the ocean, and you don't know what is in the food, if it's still in the, some of it's regulated in the food. Number two is that the weather, they get bad weather over there. Oh my goodness, they had over the centuries, over the years, they had like tsunamis over there, earthquakes that just suck up the whole half of the place over there. Number three, so that's just the weather part of it. I'm pretty sure it's probably nice now. What stuck out to me is why would Japanese women say that they're scared to be around black people? Very telling. They're not really here. Why are they scared? When I hear them black men go to the Philippines, I don't hear no Filipino or the other countries said that they're scared of black men. Why did Japanese women said they're scared? I don't hear that from the Thailand women. I'm just you just gotta really hear things out. Number two thing, Japanese, Chinese, and probably Koreans. Now let's get the indigenous people. Like there are probably some indigenous Japanese. Maybe you might have a chance, but it seems like when you do animation, you ever notice that the animation look white, practically white looking Asians in the cartoons over there when they do it, and they look like they do, and they do it in Korea, they do it in Japan, and they do it in China. You don't see no black looking, Japanese characters over there. That's number three. That's just emanated. Yeah, that sounds. But yeah, that like the one guy said. It's fine. And then if you meet somebody, now the good thing about it, if you meet somebody, and they legitimately love you and they want to be with you, yeah, that can happen. But when I thought about that one day, I said, why would they do that when you have all the other people over there, the Koreans, the Chinese, you have the Australians come over there, different Eurocentric, and like the one guy said, the white man, because they want that animated look where you have Japanese and have European. Now there are some black and Japanese, don't get me wrong, but it's a, to me, I think it's a hierarchy go. Now there's some Japanese, probably a few Japanese people and or into black, yeah, probably here and there, but they make it seem like, yeah, no, wait a minute, bro. Sit down and think about this. And like I said, but mostly the weather, that's what kind of concerned me. Like when they get those tsunamis and the earthquakes over there, and that's what one of the main things that would bother me. But hey, you see, and I mean, we get bad weather here, but they get over there. It takes out populations of people. They get they get serious floods. We get some floods, but they get the worst of the worst over in Asia because they're surrounded with the ocean. What else? The whole topic, yeah. And I can understand, you might feel like, well, black women saying that yeah, but there's other women. There's other women, even though there's some black women, but there are other women on the planet. But that just sounds kind. But it's like, black men, come on. Some of us got to really think about some things. And if you understand how the way the system is, all of a sudden, blonde hair, blue eyes, it is more acceptable in the certain parts of the world. And you think about the Asian world, the Arab world, the Hispanic world, they have a racial hierarchy. And the darker people, you ever notice that they're down. So, and I'm not saying that everybody's like that over there, but it comes from monetary reasons. Some people, like I said, there's a certain percentage of people that might dig you, that find you interesting. But when I got the woman said, when I went to Uganda, I was scared of always. Why are you scared of being around black people? You go to Uganda. But when the white people were over there, it was kind of okay. Eventually, I got around there. Did you hear what a person's saying? Why are you scared to be around us? Why are you scared to be around, whether black Americans, Africans? The point is, like, why even go over there? But I don't hear Thailand women saying this. I don't hear Philippine women saying this. They see black guys over there. They don't get scared and nervous. I've even heard it in other countries. But they get scared and nervous of you? I'm just saying. They're just curious of you. Well, there's other people have been curious, but when you go out and leave your country, you're eventually going to see other people. If I go in Latin America, I'm going to see something different. What is wrong with these people that, like, oh my, it's a different group of people? Of course, there might be people down in certain part of the world that I've never seen, but it's like I'm not going to be scared of them. Like, wow. But anyway, that's my take on it. Anyway, I do what you want to do, but it sounds good. But when you really, sometimes you gotta really hear what someone's saying and what they talk about. What is the agenda? And if we will probably be the last on the list, because basically you go, because being neighboring Asian nation, they still got the Asian blood and the Asian look. So you wouldn't really even know if somebody's from Taiwan or someone with Japan or China with Japan or Philippines with Japan, or so on, so on. Black, we stand out. Unless you like I said, unless you some of them indigenous people around there, which is probably indigenous people in Japan, but they on the outskirts. That probably look similar to us. But all of a sudden, we became the hip thing. All right, but and then I say, yeah, they can love your music and culture, but they don't. It's the same situation. They like you, like some other cultures, but they don't want you around them. But they want your music, but they don't want you around them. Think about that. I'm not saying that everybody's like that, but and then you hear when I hear people that's been over there, like the ones, it's a different kind, but and just hear things think through. That's all I'm saying. Listen to all those 4 of those videos, and you come to the conclusion, and you think, and but what my concern is the weather, and that will happen with that nuclear, and what's still in the soil and the food. Think about it. All right, then. Till next time I see you, a chance to video, like and subscribe, and see you on. And you take care and happy travels. Take care, guys.